Okay. Hello, my name is Marco Reyes, and I will be going over the basics of running. So, say you're somebody who's never ran before in their life and wants to get into running, this will help you. So, in order of things I'm going to talk about, first going to talk about like the equipment you should use. Second is like the stretches, your warm up and cool down, how that should go about. After that, I will talk about the distances you can run and how there's 4 phases of running. I'll get more into that though. And yeah. So to start off with a little background. I run a lot. I buy these a lot. They're just focus. There's actually not shoes in here. It's just cables. And I've ran for about the last 6 years. I just found it out of nowhere. And yeah, I'd like to say I'm a pretty good source when it comes to running. I have some friends who, who are studying like physical therapy and stuff like that. So I have some help from them. Okay, so to begin with, the equipment you should have for when you run, like I'll start off with the clothing. So when it's like really hot outside, you want stuff that's like really breathable. So like anything above like 60, 70 degrees, you want to be wearing like shorts, maybe like a tank top and a t-shirt, and like really like loose fitting clothes, or like loose clothes that aren't gonna make you like overheat. So you shouldn't be wearing this in like 80-degree weather. You're gonna like pretty much die. Yeah, and say it's like that 60 to like 40 range, or about 50 to 40 to that range. You want to wear like you can still wear shorts. That's kind of okay. And you like obviously want to wear like something like a long sleeve or like a little light sweater like this. And then for anything under 40 degrees, so it's really cold and windy, you want to be wearing sweatpants like this, which help block the wind and keep you warm. Because if you're not warm enough, you're gonna suffer from hypothermia because you're gonna be too cold. And then if you dress in winter clothes in summer, you're gonna heat stroke, which is not good. It's not fun. You get really dizzy. Another thing is to also stay very hydrated. Oh wait, that's for the next part. Just ignore that. Yeah. Now going into shoes, you want something that's like an everyday type of running shoe. You don't want like the Nike Zoom Next Percents. I think that's what they're called. They're like Olympic level like marathon shoes. You don't want to wear those every day. You want something that's like comfortable and smooth. Personally, I recommend the freaking easy everyday run. I recommend the Clifton 8s or 9s. Personally, if you want to stretch out your dollar a little more, I recommend the Clifton 8s, which I think are better than the Clifton 9s. But we're not going to go into depth. Yeah. I know Nike makes them, but I'm not 100% sure on how their shoes work. I only know they're for like races. They're dragonflies for like not what are they called, like dirt races or trail races. Dragonflies are really good. They're a lightweight spike. Pretty much everybody wears them that's like runs races like that I've seen. Yeah. And yeah, in terms of like, I guess you could call this equipment, you want to stay hydrated. You want water so you can stay hydrated. If you don't, you're not gonna run that well because you're gonna be dehydrated. A good rule of thumb is that your pee is like slightly yellow. Yeah. Now on to the mileage and what your workload should look like. So it's recommended that you just start off with like timing yourself. So I recommend about like 5 days a week, run about 10 minutes every day. And once you start like, I can run this pretty easy. you can start moving over to your mile, like start moving over to like mile, like where you have a set distance you run every day. And so I recommend starting around 10 miles a week. You can probably start lower, like 5 or 6. Say 6. You can start off running 5 miles a week. So like every day you just run 1 mile. Take the weekend as a rest. And for those runs, you shouldn't be going that hard. It should be like you sort of be able to talk, have a conversation with people. You shouldn't be killing yourself every time. You're not gonna get faster. You're just gonna kill yourself for no reason. And then it is recommended that the maximum you go up every week is 10%. So say you're running like 10 miles a week, 10% of 10 is 1. So next week you're up to 11, and then like 12, and yeah. It's really important that you go up slowly so you don't injure yourself, because injuries are not fun. This brings me to my next part about your workload. You should focus a lot on your form in this early part to make sure you're not hurting yourself or setting up what's it called? So you're not setting up yourself for failure. I recommend strength training your legs 2 times a week, so you don't have those muscular imbalances. And a lot of runners, their hamstrings are pretty weak, and this front muscle right here, it's weak. So I'd recommend doing some like runner focused like workouts and stretching. Before your run, you want to do active stretches, which are better than static stretches because they get your muscle warmed up instead of just stretching them out, which is bad. So what I recommend doing is bringing up one of your legs and then going up on your tippy toes on the leg that's still down, and alternating that, taking 3 steps in between, and then doing single leg squats where you put one leg up, you take a squat, you alternate. I recommend doing Frankensteins or like that. And then I forget what they're called, but you go and this stretches the inner part of your thigh, which helps out more than you think it would. Yeah. And then after your run, this is when you start doing static stretches, which is where you're standing still and just holding a stretch. These are really good for when you're cooling down or like after you've ran, because it gets the muscles like cooled off in a sense. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else. There's 4 phases of training. It's your easy run, or it's your phase 1, which is all your easy runs, and then phase 2. So you start picking up the pace like 1 or 2 workouts a week. So there's like threshold runs where you just constantly go at a heavier pace than what you're used to. You just try to hold it. By interval training, which is you just running like say for a minute hard, 2 minutes slow. Yeah. That's how you build up your speed, and that's phase 2, and then phase 3 is when you have like three workouts a week, and you're going hard. You're doing an interval, a threshold, all those, and you can look up like workouts and stuff like that. Yeah. If you have any questions about getting into running, just put it in the comment section. I can go over it. But yeah, hopefully this helped you understand a little bit more about running, and I hope that from this video you're hopefully inspired to start running. Yeah.